231. That's the average number of apps used by many companies. This leads to a lot of context and tab switching that drains employee focus and costs your company. Grammarly can help. Grammarly's AI works in over 500,000 apps and websites, making it easy for your team to write clearly and on brand without disrupting workflow. Join 70,000 teams who save an average of $5,000 per employee per year using Grammarly. Go to grammarly.com/enterprise to learn more.
Hello, good morning, and welcome back to Morning Ray. I'm your host, Lan or Alana, and today's episode is all about my winter 2024 6:30 a.m. morning routine and all my tips and tricks on how to get up early. I've gotten asked this so many times. How do you get up so early? And for me, it's something that's truthfully always come naturally. I have struggled with it sometimes. Obviously, I am human, but I've always been an early riser. So I really dug deep down and thought about all the things that I do to make getting up earlier easier. And hopefully these are things that you can incorporate if maybe getting up earlier is super challenging for you and could help alleviate some of the struggles that you're having if you're someone who is trying to get up early and is super motivated to do that, but just hasn't been able to make it happen. If you got tickets for my Hot Girl Sweat event that's happening at Jaybird on January 27th, I'm so excited to sweat with you, to be with you and get to meet you. I saw that a few of you guys from I guess it's like almost a year and a bit ago now. It was December 2022, but a few of you girls that came to that event are also coming again to this one. So I'm so excited to see you again. If you weren't able to get tickets, I know there's quite a few of you on waitlist and were messaging me that you missed out on getting tickets. Don't worry, I'm going to be hosting hopefully more events this year. I really want to do at least 4 this year, so stay tuned for that. There will be more events. And I got also a lot of messages from girls in LA, New York, Vancouver, I think even London, who were saying to do events there. So hopefully that's something I can do in the future based on how these Toronto-based events go. But I would love to do a world tour of events. And I also got some messages talking about events with the witches. That's Kaylee and Trin. If you are new here, Kaylee Stewart and Trin Tondelier. So that is definitely something that we have thought about as 3 before. Maybe 2024 will be the year that it finally happens. Really, really excited for January 27th Hot Girl Sweat event. Also, this week's episode of the podcast isn't being filmed. I'm just not in the mood, if I'm being honest. And I'm quickly doing this before heading out for some evening plans. So we're making it work. I want to get this episode out on time for you guys. But on to my current faves. If you haven't been seeing my Sunday reset videos on TikTok and Instagram Reels, you're missing out. I've really been loving my Sunday resets. They're really just putting me in a much better headspace, and I really need to practice what I preach more. A clear space is a clear mind. I feel so much better when I know my space has been deep cleaned and is being upkept well and everything. So, been loving my Sunday resets. Are they a workout in itself? 110%, but it is so rewarding afterwards to have a clean kitchen and a clean bathroom. It's specifically those 2 spaces, and for my plants to be watered and everything to be dusted, for there not to be fingerprints on my mirrors or the glass coffee table I have, for things to not be dusty in my bedroom, to not have hair on the floor. I swear to God, I lose hair and shed like none other. I could never get a dog that sheds because there would be so much fucking hair all over the place. But been loving my Sunday resets. I started having peppermint tea before bed again, and my trainer Jen/friend suggested it to me, and I had fallen off the tea before bed grind for a really long time, and I used to do it all the time. If you've been following me for a while, you would know that I used to have tea every night before bed, probably since my sophomore year of university I started doing that, and I'm not doing it every single night, but I've been trying to do it more, and it's honestly really relaxing. Truthfully, any herbal tea. I love a peppermint tea. I love the traditional medicinals, daily detox tea, dandelion tea. It's just very calming and good for the soul, and I feel so good in the morning as well. And then lastly, red light at night. I love setting all the lights in my apartment to red light. It's just very soothing and comforting and cozy. I have smart bulbs from Amazon. They're linked in my Amazon storefront and also in my Shop My under home, which is always linked in the description and linked in my bio on social. But those are my current faves. Enough with the current faves, and now on to my current morning routine. This morning routine is definitely a lot slower, calmer, gentler than what it used to be. It definitely differs a bit from day to day, but this is kind of like the gist and the breakdown of what I do almost every single morning. So I've been waking up at 6:30 a.m. I've been loving my Hatch alarm clock. It is so beyond worth the $300 investment. I got it off Amazon. I have the Restore 2, which is the second edition of the Hatch, and I have it in the color putty, but it has literally changed my life. I've spoken about it a million and one times on here. I have the settings for my rise for 6:30 a.m. obviously, and I have it set on the Malibu sunrise for 30 minutes before the alarm, so it starts to rise from 6 a.m. until 6:30. And then my alarm sound that I find works for me, because it took a little bit of trial and error because I wasn't waking up to some of the alarms for at least like 10 to 15 minutes after they started going, so I had to play around with it, and I encourage you to do the same. But the lo-fi beats is what works for me, and then I have it on 72% brightness and 75% volume. I went into my app, checked it all out. That's what I do. That is how I get up in the morning. So I get up, I make my bed right away. I put the warm white light on the Hatch alarm clock and like dim lighting on in my living room. So I have smart bulbs in my living room lamp and my bedroom lamp, or light, I guess. The vocal rasp, the vocal fry. Have to drink water one moment. I'm wearing headphones while recording for like the first time ever, because on my old mic it would lag and I felt like I couldn't talk because I would hear myself talking what I had just said. Like, it would just confuse me and I kept pausing, but this is great with my new mic. And I'm using the old school Apple headphones with the headphone jack. I feel very retro. But nonetheless, I digress. Okay, so I love to do dim lighting on my living room lamp and then the overhead light in my bedroom, which is like this lantern thing from the website Hey. I get so many questions about it. It is a rice paper lampshade from the brand Hey, Hay. But I have smart bulbs in both of those, and I just make it like this dim yellow lighting, and then I do the same thing on my Hatch alarm clock. Sometimes I'll do red light, but that's like kind of sleepy to me, so I'll do like a dim, like yellow warm light. I keep cozy slippers next to my bed. I have those smiley face slippers that I'm sure you've seen all over social media. So I put those on, and those help a lot, especially when it's cold in the morning. The floor in my apartment gets kind of cold and I don't have a rug, so this stops me from wanting to stay in bed. And then I head over to my bathroom. I brush my teeth. I do my morning skincare. I do light makeup for the gym. I'm a strong believer of look good, feel good. I typically only really do like mascara, brow gel, and then lately I've been doing a little Benetint on my cheeks and lips, and it just feels really good. One moment. I'm in the midst of making chicken nuggets, so I have to go flip them because the timer just went off. And yes, you did just hear that right. I did say I had to go flip my chicken nuggets. I've been on a chicken nugget kick. I love my Jane's chicken nuggets. In specific, no other brand of frozen chicken nugget compares, in my opinion. If you have one that you think is superior, please do tell. I love my Jane's chicken nuggets, specifically the nuggets over the tenders or fingers or whatever you want to call it. But anyways, morning skincare, as I was saying, I don't typically wash my face with a cleanser in the morning unless for some reason I didn't at night. I use my Rhode glazing milk, which you know I'm fucking obsessed with. Excuse my language, but I'm fucking obsessed with it. And then I'll do a vitamin C. Right now I'm using the Summer Fridays one. And then I'll use my Phyto corrector gel from SkinCeuticals. Expensive, but worth the investment. I'll do my Foreo Bear 2, which is like the microcurrent tightening thing, kind of like the New Face. I'll do that. I'll do gua sha, and then I'll put my Dermalogica skin barrier repair cream on, my La Roche-Posay mineral sunscreen for my face. I wear SPF every single day. Don't skip on SPF. Personally, I think it's really important. Anyways, I'll do that, and then my light makeup, like what I said, the mascara, brow gel, and Benetint, and I do this usually while listening to a podcast. I get really antsy when doing my skincare and my makeup in the morning, so I try to habit stack it with something that makes me feel like I'm being a bit more productive. I do really like doing these things, but I feel like I want to go and do something else. It's just taking too long. As much as I love my skincare routine and makeup, like I just get kind of frustrated and antsy in the morning. So to combat that, I listen to a podcast or I'll FaceTime a friend, typically my friend Jess. In the morning, we like to FaceTime. That's kind of just like our thing and how we stay in contact and up to date with each other. But listen to a podcast. I've been loving listening to Mel Robbins, as you know, The Skinny Confidential, Note to Self by Peyton Sardin, or What We Said with JC and Chelsea. So those are like the podcasts I kind of rotate through, and I'll listen to them while I'm doing my skincare, while I'm doing my makeup, if I'm fixing my hair or anything, while I'm making my coffee, etc. Sometimes I'll still have it playing depending how long the episode is as I continue to do the rest of my routine. So I get up, I put my slippers on, I make my bed, brush teeth, morning skincare, light makeup for the gym. And then I go and do my vitamins and coffee habit stack. I habit stack taking my vitamins in the morning with my coffee. I take my probiotic. I really have been loving my Ritual probiotic. Before that, I was taking my Genuine Health. Love both of them. But I take the Ritual probiotic. I think I actually still have a promo code with them, so I'll put that in the show notes. This isn't sponsored at all. I have fully bought these probiotics by myself now. I'm not working with them currently. So I think that proves to say how much I really like this product. I've been liking having a warm coffee in the morning. As you guys know, I love my vanilla lattes, so making that. Also, I apologize if my voice is a little shaky. I'm kind of feeling anxious right now. I know why, but it will be fine. We're fine. But anyways, deep breath, Elena. If you're anxious right now, just know I'm with you, sis. I'm with you. Let's take a deep breath together. And exhale. And let's just do one more for good sake. Inhale. Hold at the top. And exhale. Okay, I feel a little better. I love stacking, you guys know, habit stacking my vitamins with my coffee. Been having a warm coffee in the morning. I have my warm vanilla latte. I use my Breville Barista Pro. I love her so much. I'm a dairy girl. I have full fat, lactose-free milk. Sometimes I'll put my Rainbow 1111 drops. They're just adaptogens. Feel like it does something. And then I'll either answer emails or I'll go and read my book on the couch while drinking my coffee. If I'm answering emails, I'll continue to listen to the podcast episode or still be FaceTiming a friend sometimes at this point. If not, I'm in silence reading my book. I'm currently reading The Fine Print by Lauren Asher. I like the book, but I think I prefer the Magnolia Park series as opposed to the Dreamland Billionaire series. This might be a little controversial. One moment again. While I go take my chicken nuggets out of the oven. I'm sorry, this episode has had so many interruptions, but I think it keeps it interesting and it truly makes it feel like we're on FaceTime together. So just give me a moment and we're back. I know it's like 1 second for you, so I don't know, maybe I'll edit this out. But so I'll either answer emails or read my book while drinking coffee. I know I said I was going to be having food before coffee in 2024, but to be honest, it's not really my forte at the moment. I'll have a light breakfast. I try to get something with protein in it. It doesn't necessarily have to be high protein, but I want there to be some sort of protein in it. Lately, it's been Greek yogurt, or sometimes it's something a little more filling, so like a bagel with cream cheese and lox. I feel like my list of things to buy, to do, activities that involve spending money is never ending around the holidays, making the idea of investing and saving and thinking about your future to be a a little bit more challenging, a little bit more overwhelming. Acorns makes it easy to start automatically saving and investing for you, your kids, and your retirement, even during the holidays. You don't need to be an expert. Acorns will recommend a diversified portfolio that matches you. You don't need a ton of time. You can create your Acorns account and start automatically investing your money in just 5 minutes. You don't need to be rich. Acorns lets you get started with the spare money you've got right now. That could be $5 a day or even just your spare change. That's right, Acorns can round every purchase you make up to the dollar and automatically invest your spare change for you. And you can get bonus investments just for buying the stuff you need from the brands you love. I personally love Acorns. It's simplified the investment process, which can be overwhelming and intimidating, but it just makes it so simple, so easy, and something more accessible no matter how much money you have to invest. Head to acorns.com/Alana or download the Acorns app to start saving and investing for your future today. Paid non-client endorsement. Compensation provides incentive to positively promote Acorns. Investing involves risk. Acorns Advisors LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. View important disclosures at acorns.com/Alana. I'm super excited about today's sponsor. They've sponsored the podcast before, and this is a topic I'm super passionate about. I fear that us as girls struggle with PMS far more than we should, and we really shouldn't. I truly get the worst PMS symptoms. My boobs are sensitive, my face breaks out, my sugar controllings are out of whack. I feel like I'm just a bottomless pit. My mood is not the vibe, and Estro Control has been super helpful in helping manage those PMS symptoms and making that time of the month a lot more enjoyable. Estro Control is a formula developed by Happy Mammoth, a supplement company dedicated to making women's lives easier. Say no more. Estro Control contains science-backed herbal extracts that help support hormonal health, especially if you are someone like myself who struggles with PMS. It was created to help women feel like themselves all month long and to not struggle with the feelings PMS can cause. For a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use the code Alana at checkout. That's happymammoth.com and use the code Alana for 15% off today. Or protein oats with blueberries and almond butter before the gym. Occasionally, I'll film content in the morning. This isn't every single morning. I don't do it every single morning because I started to get really annoyed by it and just wanted to do my routines or just make my coffee or whatever it was. So I switch up my content every day that I'm filming. So sometimes I will be filming in the morning if it's a get ready with me for the gym or run, my morning routine, a coffee vid, whatever it is. Obviously, this isn't really applicable for everyone, but if you're listening to this and you create content, this is when I do it and I film it in real time. Then I'll walk to my gym. I go to Altea in Toronto, and so I'll go there, or if I have a workout class booked at one of the various other studios that I go to, I'll do that. If it's a rest day, then obviously null and void this part. I'll come home, I'll make a protein shake. My protein shake is the Fairlife high protein milk, a scoop of protein powder, colostrum, and creatine. I'll have that, and then I'll shower and get ready properly and do like a full breakfast. Usually like a protein smoothie or protein pancakes. I love Flourish or oats. It depends like what I had before the gym and what I'm having now, but that is essentially my current morning routine. It may seem like a lot of steps. It's really not. I've just really broken it down for you, and I have the luxury of doing this really spread out. I normally go to the gym around 10 a.m., so I have a really nice, slow, calm morning. That was something I missed before, like when I woke up, before I would like try to work out right away and like just be super rushed and like high stress environment. And because I have the ability to spread it out, I do that. But this could be done, like usually I'm having my coffee and breakfast by like 7:30-ish. So like it's very doable. I just kind of chill between like 7:30 till 10. So you can do this before work. It works no matter what your schedule is. Maybe not if you have to take care of a child. If you are in your early 20s or you're a teenager, if you're in school, if you're working, this most likely would work for you, and you can kind of copy, paste, edit as you wish. get inspired. But now onto the tea. Onto how I actually get the fuck up at like 6 a.m., okay? I know I get up at 6:30, but like 6 a.m. just sounds a lot better. This may seem like Captain Obvious speaking over here, but you'd be surprised how many people don't actually think about this. But your mornings start with your nights, and it's important that you go to bed earlier if you want to wake up earlier, because it is not fun getting up early if you've had like negative sleep. I've done it many times and I do not recommend. You are going to do a little math, not some girl math. You're going to do some math, and you're going to count 7.5 to 8.5 hours before you want to get up. Previously, I said 7 to 8, but I want to give you a little tip. It takes you approximately 30 minutes to fall asleep. So from the time you get into bed, turn out the lights, and put your head on your pillow, it takes around like 30 minutes to properly fall into your deep sleep, or at least be sleeping. I don't know about like what state in your sleep cycle you are, but statistically, oh my God, I can't say that word. Statistically, it takes 30 minutes to fall asleep. So you want to count 7.5 to 8.5 hours before you want to get up, because you want to sleep for 7 to 8 hours. So if you want to get up at 6 a.m., ideally you want to be in bed by 9:30 p.m. You want to get up at 6:30 a.m. You want to be in bed by 10 p.m., so on and so forth. My mother always told me this. I don't know if it's true, but I feel like it is. It could be a placebo, or it could have been a way for her to get me to go to bed sooner when I was younger. But the more hours of sleep you get before midnight, the more rested you'll feel in the morning. I feel like this is true, because think about it. Like if you go out and you stay up late, like to like 2 or 3 a.m., even if you get those 8 hours, you still feel exhausted because you went to bed so late. That's my theory. But like if you were to go to bed at like say like 9 and wake up at like 5:36, you feel a lot more well rested, in my opinion and in my experience. As I said, your morning routine and being able to get up earlier starts with your night routine. So in order to go to bed earlier and have good quality sleep, it's essential that you have a calming night routine. What do I mean when I say a calming night routine? Minimal screens, if any. We know blue light isn't great for us. We know that it keeps us up and it impacts our sleep and quality of sleep. So minimal screens, if any. If you're using any screens, wear blue light glasses, or if you can change the settings on your screens to be like on night mode, that like yellow tint instead of blue, awesome. But try to minimize screen time. Like don't be watching Netflix before bed, at least like half an hour to an hour before bed. Before that, do what you want, but obviously try to minimize blue light to your best ability. I'm not telling you to ignore it at all. I'm 100% like not totally great at this, so just keep that in mind. If you can have red light or warm light that's dim in your apartment or home or bedroom, great. I know this is a bit more of a luxury. I love smart bulbs. My smart bulbs are honestly pretty affordable. I don't get the Philips brand. Those ones are ridiculously expensive. I got like these Miros brand from Amazon. And like I said earlier in the episode, they're linked in my Shop My. I think they're like maybe $20 a bulb. And like those are smart bulbs. The Philips ones are like, I think $100 for like 2. So it's pretty affordable in my opinion. Also love using the Hatch alarm clock and setting that to red. And then I like to read or journal before bed instead of watching Netflix or YouTube. I don't bring my computer into my bedroom ever, really rarely, like very, very rarely do I anymore. Read or journal before bed. I personally love to read because it makes me really sleepy and makes my eyes tired. I like to just read a book, and I'll just have my lamp on just for the sake of that. I kind of want to get a book light so I don't have such a bright light on, but I'll do that. And then I love to use a sound machine while sleeping. I use my Hatch for this. That's why I love it. It's like 1,000,001 things in one. I listen to rain before I also have listened to white or brown noise. And if you guys remember from the episode with Sherveen, the founder of Symbiotica, we spoke a lot about like our sleep environment. And I've also have seen numerous studies and articles and things on this. Did a little bit of trial and error with my own sleep environment, but I find I sleep so much better in a cooler environment. So if you want to get better sleep, to sleep deeper, to wake up more well rested, and you have control over your thermostat, lower the temperature in your place by around like 2 degrees. Like normally you keep it at 70. degrees, switch it to like 69 or 68, and I promise you, you will sleep so much better. Like, you don't want to overheat in your sleep. You're going to wake up. You will just sleep so much better if you're a bit colder. I like to have herbal tea before bed, or if you want to do like a sleepy girl mocktail, I personally don't really do that. I know a lot of the wellness girlies are like really on this sleepy girl mocktail. It's like cherry tart juice or magnesium from moon juice or whatever. I'm personally very basic. I like my peppermint tea, as I said, or dandelion, chamomile, sleepy time tea, daily detox, like any herbal tea, like caffeine-free tea. I like to have before bed. Magnesium glycinate before bed as well. It's good for your muscles, and I also find I just sleep so much better, and it's known to help you also have a deeper sleep. So just so many things to help you sleep better. Now, in terms of actually getting up in the morning, when your alarm goes off, we need to break the habit of hitting snooze, because I know that was my biggest issue. Instead of hitting snooze, you have 3 different options, and Shelby Sacco kind of taught me a lot of these, and they're also things I've just like incorporated myself. So, number 1, your first option is to count down from 5, then just sit up and allow yourself to wake up so that you don't just like hit snooze. Do that instead of hitting snooze. Or keep a glass of water, a glass, not a bottle, something that you have to sit up to drink, and drink the water in the morning instead so that you can allow your brain to wake up. I think it takes like 90 seconds or something. That's what Shelby said. 90 seconds for your brain to like wake up and be aware of what's happening, versus if you just hit snooze, like you're kind of half asleep still when that happens. Keep a glass of water next to your bed and drink that instead when your alarm goes off. Or your third option is to keep a spray bottle next to your bed. I've been seeing Shelby has been doing this a lot lately. I personally haven't tried this one, but you can keep a spray bottle next to your bed and mist your face in the morning to like wake yourself up. It's kind of like putting your face in an ice bowl, but more accessible next to your bed. So try those 3 things. I personally love the countdown from 5 or the glass of water trick instead of hitting snooze. Just try to get yourself to sit up and put on some sort of light. In terms of putting on some sort of light, it is really important to expose yourself to light when you wake up to cue your body to stop producing melatonin. Melatonin is your sleep hormone, as I'm sure majority of you know, and this is important to regulate your circadian rhythm. This is essentially like your body's internal clock that tells you when to wake up and go to bed. Ideally, natural light is what you want to see. So if it's summer, this is obviously a lot easier, or if you live closer to the equator, I believe. But if you're like me, who lives in Toronto and you have a later sunrise and you're waking up before it, a lamp or the light from like the Hatch alarm clock works too in the winter months. But honestly, just expose yourself to some sort of light, blue light, whatever it is, to stop producing melatonin and to like wake yourself up and regulate your circadian rhythm. Do not look at your phone. Your phone is not a supplement for this. In fact, try to stay away from your phone in the morning personally. Like, keep a few moments for yourself. Be consistent with it. It takes 21 days to build a good habit. We all know this. The more consistent you are with your sleep schedule, so going to bed and waking up at the same time every day, the sooner and faster your body will adjust to it, and the easier it will be for you to wake up earlier. Right now, it's probably hard for you to wake up early because you're used to waking up at a later time. You're used to going to bed at a later time. That is the time of your own body's alarm clock. So if you adjust and are consistent with that new regimen that you have going on, then it's going to be a lot easier and it's going to stick. Create a morning routine that you actually look forward to and enjoy. This will close the habit loop. I've spoken about the habit loop before. It's cue, routine, reward. The cue is your alarm going off. The routine is the morning routine that follows. And the reward is how you feel from accomplishing this. So if you have a morning routine that you absolutely dread, that provides no value to your life, that doesn't fill your cup up, that drains you, you're not going to want to do it. You're not going to want to get up in the morning. But if you have a morning routine that is calming and fills your cup up and you really look forward to, and you feel really fulfilled by completing it and doing a lot of things or doing those things early in the morning, then you're going to want to keep doing it and you're going to keep chasing that feeling, that reward feeling. And lastly, Mel Robbins spoke about this on one of her recent podcast episodes. I talk about this all the time, but you need to have a why. Motivation is so short-lived, and it's the reason why so many of us fall off when it comes to our goals. No goal will be accomplished without a why. You need to have that deeper reasoning, why you want to do something, why you want to achieve it, why you want to work towards it. You need something to lean on when that motivation is lacking. Think of your why as almost the closest thing to motivation being on tap. This will trigger your self-discipline and your intrinsic ability to motivate. So your internal ability to motivate yourself. We can't always rely on external factors, so figure out what that why is, and I promise it will make things so much easier. Guys, my heart is literally racing right now. Like, why am I so anxious? Ugh. It's like just like anxious, heart racing. But anyways, I hope that this episode was enjoyable. I hope it was helpful. I hope you have something to take away from it. If you like this episode, please leave a rating and a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. I love reading your reviews. They mean a lot to me, and it's how you can help support the show. I also love seeing when you guys tag me on Instagram stories that you're listening to the pod, or feature me in your reels or TikToks as podcasts that you love. So keep doing that. Keep tagging me. I love seeing it. I love reposting you guys. And I hope you have an amazing day, an amazing week, and we'll chat soon. Bye, guys.